Right now, I'm standing just a few feet from the entrance to the offices of one of the worst, most successful cretinous, hateful, anti-choice, anti-gay, right-wing sites on the internet. Yep, last week I discovered that my neighbor is Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire. And you know what that means, right? It is literally Christmas in July. Or in my case, Hanukkah. Anyway, let the free speech, liberal activism, and pranking begin. For a liberal muckraker like me, who's reported from the border, from a migrant detention camp in Tijuana, and a U.S. migrant detention center in Adelanto, California, gone undercover at Trump rallies, GOP events, and a Sean Spicer book party at the Nixon Library, it's like being Batman and finding out that the Penguin has moved in next door. Ever since I made this discovery, I have spent hours figuring out how I was going to, well, exercise my right to free speech.
Right, and here's the thing, is I don't know how many balloons it's going to take, and so we're going to have to wing it. We'll see. Let's see if 2 balloons will float our sign. Nope.
Should I stand in front of their office with a microphone and criticize them? Absolutely. Should I make a giant sign to hang on the building opposite theirs that expresses my opposition to their political opinions? Absolutely times 2. Should I buy a $50 can of helium, dozens of red, white, and blue balloons, and experiment with a method to cleverly float my messages from the street up to the 2nd floor of the building, where Ben and his colleagues would be surprised to see them out their window? Absolutely times 3.
All right, here comes the next test. Here we go.
Because what I want to do is let Ben Shapiro and the rest of the Daily Wire staff know is that tolerating Trump's cruelty and racism in exchange for Trump putting conservative judges onto federal courts supports Trump's cruelty and racism. It means that you're okay with kids in cages and separating families at the border. Tolerating Trump's incompetence, crimes, and corruption in exchange for Trump lowering the taxes on America's top 1% provides material support to Trump's incompetence, crime, and corruption. It means that you're okay with 10 instances of Trump obstructing justice. You see, the First Amendment, it's something I know that Ben Shapiro supports. And while he might disagree with my opinion that Trump should be immediately impeached and jailed, I know that he'll respect my right to say it. Even better, he'll defend my right to say it too. I know this because Ben is a huge supporter of free speech. And how do I know that Ben supports free speech? Because a few weeks ago, one of his free speech videos showed up on my YouTube timeline.
I can't imagine that Facebook would construct a system that benefits only left-wing outlets, even though that's apparently what they've been doing.
I watched it. He was talking about how the social media companies had violated the free speech rights of a few conservatives by banning their hateful speech on their platforms.
Instead, he is using his platform as a censorship tool to crack down on particular outlets he doesn't like.
And since I watched that one video of Ben Shapiro defending the First Amendment, I have been served up a steady stream of Ben Shapiro defends the First Amendment videos thanks to YouTube's very clever algorithm. Ben Shapiro defends free speech on college campuses. Ben Shapiro appears on Laura Ingraham's show to defend free speech. Ben Shapiro on his own YouTube channel defending free speech, and multiple dozens more.
And the headlines were nuts. I mean, the headlines like, Berkeley braces for Shapiro visit.
So, based on all these videos, I was led to believe that Ben Shapiro is a fierce defender of free speech. Only here's the thing. He's not. Ben's only a defender of free speech when it suits his own political agenda. Ben is a liar, and he's the worst kind of liar. You see, his lie isn't the kind that a person who doesn't have all the facts tells. No, Ben has the facts. He's informed, as he will most assuredly tell you. He just lies anyway. When the social media companies decided that they didn't want the poison and dangerous invective of the alt-right polluting their platforms, Ben decries attacks on free speech. When colleges ban alt-right speakers, Ben decries attacks on free speech.
No question. The heckler's veto that so many universities are now using to shut down free speech on college campuses by saying the left is going to get violent is pretty astonishing.
However, when government laws or policies do not align with his political agenda, he doesn't care about free speech even one iota. You see, Ben is against abortion. He's against abortion in nearly every situation.
Ben, you give a lot of speeches, often on college campuses, and it seems you get questions about abortion quite often. Is there a recurring theme you've noticed with these questions on these different campuses?
Well, I think that the theme that I get the most is young women who suggest that I am somehow invading their bodily autonomy if I am pro-life, that if I want to preserve the life of the unborn, that this is somehow a threat to their rights as an independent woman.
In 1976, Congress passed the Hyde Amendment, and later a series of laws called Title X. Basically, these laws say that no federal funds can be used to pay for an abortion. It's legislation that restricts the use of funds allocated for the Department of Health and Human Services and Medicaid to be used to fund abortion. And according to defenders of these laws, the reason this set of rules exists is so that providers are not required to choose between participating in a program, for example, Medicare, and violating their own conscience by providing abortion counseling and referral. Now, here's the part about free speech. The Hyde Amendment also prevents those clinics that do get federal money for women's health from referring patients who want an abortion to a clinic that offers one. It's a government-imposed gag rule. In other words, if you want federal money to provide women's health care, you are forbidden by law from discussing or referring a patient to a clinic that offers an abortion. Only here's the thing. As Ben Shapiro is famous for saying, facts do not care about your feelings. It's his motto. On his website, you can buy a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie, and a thing for your phone that says, facts don't care about your feelings. Only here's a fact that Ben has chosen to ignore. The fact is, abortion is legal and has been since 1973. That you choose to believe that life begins at conception, that is a feeling. Does conception happen during intercourse? Is it when the sperm enters the egg completely? It takes 24 hours, you know. Is it when the embryo can no longer divide? Is it when the zygote implants in the uterus a few days later? Or is it when brain waves can be detected? Or when a fetus is viable outside the uterus? Scientists do not agree. That you choose to believe abortion is murder, that is also a feeling. Our laws state that murder is the killing of a human being by a sane person with intent, malice, aforethought, and with no legal excuse or authority. By legal definition, a fetus is not a human being. Let me repeat that. Those are your feelings. And just like your t-shirt says, your feelings don't get to restrict the free speech of medical workers offering health care to pregnant women. Only thanks to hypocrites, Bible zealots, Trump defenders, and laws like Hyde, they do. And it is this hypocrisy, Ben's free speech hypocrisy, that has me riled up and has led me to stand in front of his office and take advantage of my own First Amendment rights. It's a series of protests and demonstrations that I plan to escalate just as soon as I can figure out the right number of balloons it's going to take to lift these signs up to his office window. Because with 7 balloons and a strong wind, yes, the signs do in fact float. However, they float so well that in a gentle breeze, it can also get loose and fly over the house where the testing is taking place and get lost in your neighborhood. Even though you raced from the back of your house to the front and grabbed your drone and flew it over the house to look for the sign and the red, white, and blue balloons.
Oh, Mike, it totally works. And it flew away. Boy, that is a bummer.
If there is a sign that you would like me to make and hang in front of Ben Shapiro's office, please let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure and subscribe to this channel, because in the next episode of Be Less Stupid, I'm going to reveal who the owners of Ben's Daily Wire are. And I'm going to tell you all about their outrageous far right Christian ideology, their $15 million donation to Ted Cruz, and how they take the Bible literally, how they hate gays and think homosexuality is akin to bestiality, and how they are tricking thousands of women who want abortions into having children that they don't want and can't properly raise. And finally, if you would like to support my work, go to the website and buy yourself one of these Be Less Stupid t-shirts and show your solidarity with other like-minded liberals who are interested in facts and science. For Be Less Stupid, I'm the host, Jon Hotchkiss, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.